Alright folks, welcome back to King's Consoles. Here with something a little bit different for you guys. This is going to be a start of a new series, which is focusing on toys and action figures, which are based on computer game characters or series. So what better way to start off the series than with Final Fantasy VII's Cloud Strife, as you may have guessed by the title or just overall look of the character. If you don't know who Cloud is, then where have you been? But I do know that there's people out there that don't play RPGs and don't follow up on all things computer game related. Cloud is actually a character, or the main character from Final Fantasy VII, an RPG by Square. It was at the time, I don't think it was Square Enix back then. Definitely recommend having a little look if you haven't played already. It's available on PC, it was a remake version. That's most recently been put onto the PS4 in the store. I think you can generally pick up quite cheaply. And they will be soon making the PS4 remake, or I think it's going to be cross-platform, but PlayStation's certainly pushing it forward. There's going to be a remake, and hopefully Square Enix do not make us wait too long, and we can get it very soon. And just to also mention, guys, that if you are watching on my other channel, King's Toy Chest, I have got another YouTube channel which focuses mainly on toys and Transformer figures. Welcome. Do certainly have a look at both channels. If you're watching on King's Consoles, check out my other channel and vice versa. I've got lots of good videos on there. So without further ado, let's just have a little closer look at the figure. So you can clearly see Cloud's displayed in his traditional Final Fantasy VII soldier uniform, much as depicted in the FMVs. As I say, the polygon character doesn't really, it's a rough representation, but looks more like the character when it's in the full motion video sequences. But of course, this is artist's representation, which it may look like when we get the overall version of Final Fantasy out for the PS4. Some other ways it's kind of been displayed in the PSP release, Final Fantasy Disida. You can see there's Cloud there, along with some other famous Final Fantasy heroes. So he's got his shoulder armour and his Buster Blade. And I won't spoil anything of Final Fantasy story, because I do understand there may be people there that haven't watched it, or played the game, I should say. From Crisis Core, another character from Final Fantasy, Zack, has the similar soldier uniform. See, there's Cloud as well. So you may come across Zack, or hear about Zack when you play Final Fantasy VII, or the PSP game Crisis Core, which is mainly focused on him. Now, accessory-wise, Cloud only does come with his Buster Blade, the stand, and 3 extra hands. So it's a bit hard for you to show, but there's like a clenched fist. If you just want to get angry. We have another clenched fist for his other hand. And we have the unmentionable hand, which we don't know what he gets up to with this one. Don't know, but it's a bit of a third. He's got a third hand for some reason. The main hands that I've got him on just now are for holding his Buster Blade. And without further ado, let's get straight into looking a bit closer up at the figure. So let's see if we can get a good zoom on his face. Facial recognition should probably pick that up. So quite clearly you can see as a close-up that this is Cloud Strife. He's looking rather feminine in his current pose. In fact, I think the general character of Cloud does look quite feminine, but then that's quite a traditional thing with Final Fantasy characters, especially throughout the series, or Japanese RPGs, they do look quite feminine. But you can see his great facial features and his blue eyes, piercing blue eyes. The hair, traditional Cloud Strife, all spiky, does slightly move a little bit there. But yeah, typically the facial features look like any representation or picture you have seen of Cloud. Starting with what armour he's got on, I should say. He's got his shoulder armour, which you can see is a little bit battle damaged, which is a nice touch. You can catch that in the light. His landmine shoulder armour, as it kind of looks like a World War II mine from there, but it just looks like it's some bolts that have been stuck onto a piece of metal. And it's kind of got a similar theme on his arm gauntlet here, which is on the end of his gloves. Nothing on this side of the glove. You can see he's got quite thin arms, so he needs to kind of do some bench presses. He needs to go to the gym but I suppose he has got Barrett for that, so what's the need? Going back slightly again, you can see his legs. Got some MC Hammer pants going on there. Can't touch this. Do hammer time. Yeah, and his big army style boots. So I don't know if it's a standard soldier uniform, but certainly he's rocking it with his turtleneck tank top thingy he's got. He's got his harness, which of course is meant to sheath his sword, and his WWE wrestling belt by the looks of it, which holds up his baggy pants. But overall, I think this is an absolute perfect representation, as close as you're going to get to the Cloud from the Final Fantasy series based on the old PlayStation 1 game. What I'm going to do actually is give you a bit of a size comparison so you can see how big this actual figure is. Sometimes it's a bit hard to tell on camera. So we'll start off with a little minifig. If you can see him down there, look, he's right down there. Little tiny minifig. And a copy of his own game, not self-publicising of course, but that's him with a copy of Final Fantasy 7. Just pin it to the front there. Final Fantasy 7. So it goes up to about his waist on the case. We have a Nintendo Game Boy. Kind of goes up to his shoulder. So yeah, it's a pretty sizable figure. And for those of you on King's Toy Chest, I got one especially for you guys to give a bit of a comparison. That's Cloud next to Metroplex. Now, as you kind of remember, Metroplex was one of the biggest Transformers you can get, so even on that scale, he's give you a good idea how, put your chest away, how tall this actual Cloud figure is, because Metroplex certainly wasn't a small Transformer. So let's get this out of the way. Focus back on Cloud. Little Lego dude, move it the way too. And let's take a look at the articulation, because these figures, they call them action figures, but really they're for big children like myself to put on shelf and display. So we'll take him off his stand. Take that out of the way there. And we will show you what it can do. Oh yeah, take his busted blade off. I'll show you that in a second. So looking back, he has full head articulation. Move left and right. No, slight up and down. It will move a full 360, but I don't really want to spin around and take it off. No waist articulation at all, so it doesn't move at the waist. Arms, as you can see by his Peter Pan pose, he's got full shoulder rotation. Wrists will actually move as well, quite tight because they do pop off on the ball joint. Elbow movement and upper arm. So you can see full upper arm there. Kind of hindered a little bit by his shoulder, but he's not going to do any sort of Thundercat poses with his sword like Lionel. But yeah, you can kind of pose his arm like so, about the highest it's going to go. A little bit of restriction here with his shoulder armour, but you can pretty much do the same pose on the other side. Yeah, how much do you bench, bro? See, he's got muscles after all. Legs, he's more of a kicker than he is a puncher by the looks of it. Legs have a full motion of front and back, so we can go and play some football or soccer. Yeah, so he's got a full leg movement. Bends at knees, actually really good at the top of the leg. So you can see that. So it makes it stand really well. They say the shoes, even the soles, don't catch that. Look at the detail on the soles of the boots. He's got big feet, so he can quite easily stand there on his own. In fact, let's just see if I can do that right now. Don't make a liar of me, Cloud. Look up when I'm talking to you. So yeah, so Cloud is now the WWE champion of the world. I don't know what I'm talking about. So Cloud, you just stand back there and wait for me to look at your sword. So here is a famous Buster Blade, a great size. As you see, the detail on it is pretty awesome for a figure. See the kind of battle damage, if I get the light on it. So if you remember the start of the game, when you're at the continue or the start screen, you see the Busted Blade kind of sitting there. It's obviously been through a few battles with this thing. I won't say any spoilers, I was just about to there, but we'll leave it at that. And you can kind of see the top of the hilt. And his big broadsword handle, which makes it easier for him to hold. But it sits quite nicely on his back through a peg, which is here. And then it just goes through one of the holes. And that just sits in his back where he stands. Or, of course, now don't make a fool of me, Cloud. We're going to do this first time. First time, alright? It's one of these things with these figures. Sometimes they take a bit of posing, but determined to get this through his hands and on first time. If I've got the right hands on, that is. I'm not using his special hand. Now, you may need to stand for this one because it will kind of change his weight balance. Oh no, he's standing up by himself. Let's move up to the side. Like so. And then you can kind of have Cloud standing there with his buster blade. Let's move the camera back. Ready to get into some fights with the Shinra Corporation. But anyway guys, that's really all I've got to say about the figure. I certainly would recommend, if you do see one out in the wild, which good luck if you do, I would pick one up. In fact, if you see any of the Play Arts figures and it's a character you really like, definitely pick them up. Really good articulation, they move really well, and the detail on them are absolutely amazing. I will actually show you quickly the box. It's not very spectacular, a little bit damaged in the move house. So you see Cloud Strife number 1 down here, Final Fantasy Play Arts, as I mentioned before. Some of the other figures, so you got Tifa, which I missed out on, I really wish I got her, and Miss Gainsborough, who's, I'm hoping she's a miss, otherwise she was a cheated slut, and Mr. Gainsborough wouldn't be too happy. No, certainly we've got Aerith there as well, in all of her glory with our staff. Bit of a cheap out on Tifa though, because obviously her fighting is her fists, so I wonder what accessories you got with her. And of course there's Cloud, we've already seen him already. But yeah guys, that's all I'm going to do for this video. Certainly more figures will be up and coming in this series. Please certainly leave a comment of any series of figures that you like to see. You never know, I might have them. Ones I've got at the moment is like, say, Legend of Zelda, Call of Duty, along those lines. But yeah, put in the comments what figures you've got. Maybe something I may pick up myself. And obviously don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more from either of my channels, so King's Toy Chest or King's Consoles. And I've also got a vlogging channel, as if I've not got enough channels already, which is called King Blur, an amalgamation of my old Autobot Blur username. But anyway, that's enough of me rambling on. This is Dave from King's Consoles and King's Toy Chest, saying catch you guys later, and I hope you have a good one.